I rise to support the private members bill introduced by my esteemed colleague Shafi Parambil, who has been a three-time MLA in Kerala Assembly and first-time parliamentarian, but made a headline by bringing this private member bill, which seeks to strengthen the passengers' rights, guaranteed fair competition and overall over aviation regulator framework. The urgency of this bill has been underscored by the severe civil aviation crisis India has witnessed in the last fortnight. India's largest airline, Indigo, which carries 60% of the domestic airlines, air passengers have experienced a catastrophic operational breakdown, resulting in thousands of flights cancellation and widespread passenger suffering. At the peak of the crisis, reports indicate that 2,000 flights were cancelled within a week and severely disturbing travel plans nationwide. On one day alone, more than 550 flights were scrapped, and subsequent days, more cancellation followed, with refunds exceeding 827 crores issued to passengers. The DGCA has even suspended 4 of its own flight operation inspectors for oversight, lapses, and intensified scrutiny of the airline's compliance measures. This is one of the most severe operational breakdowns in Indian aviation history, ma'am. Not a minor scheduling glitch, but a crisis that stranded travelers in terminals, disturbed businesses, and forced families to cancel long-planned holiday journeys. This is not just about an airline internal failure, ma'am. This is a crisis. Also, this crisis exposes bigger structural problems, ma'am. Why the government allowed concentrated market domination is the main issue, ma'am. Whether one airline accounts for such a disproportionate share of domestic traffic, the entire system becomes fragile. A failure in the single carrier's operation should not grind national airline to a halt, yet it did. Why did our aviation policy allow this duopoly to emerge? Why is there no healthy competition to observe such shocks? This bill calls for a real structural competition, more robust entry and survival conditions for new and smaller operators, ma'am. Second, what role did a regulator preparation play in this crisis? The DGCA had introduced revised pilot duty and crew rest rules, aiming to improve safety. Yet, despite long lead time, Indigo failed to align its crew planning, prompting cancellation and numbering its households. If airlines are unable to comply with the foreseeable regulatory changes, why was the oversight? Where was the oversight? Should regulators not have ensured compliance well in advance, especially given the airline's massive network? Why are the passengers left to bear the consequences of systematic failure of this government? Thousands were stranded. Families missed urgent medical and personal commitments. Airports reported chaotic schemes, delays in communication to affected flyers. Who compensates the economic losses, missed opportunities, and emotional distress? Current customer protection is inadequate, reactive, not preventive. This bill mandates clear compensation frameworks and enforcement mechanisms, ma'am. 4. Why was the government has been so slow to enforce real accountability? In response to the crisis, DGCA ordered flight schedule cuts, formed oversight teams, and suspended officials. But these are all reactive, not proactive measures. Why flight cancellation soared, airfares on an alternative carrier spiked sharply, hitting ordinary passengers hard? Does our regulatory architecture protect passengers first, or it does favors powerful operators, ma'am? Why was there no policy to ensure resilience in Indian skies, ma'am? Indian Civil Aviation Minister rightly said we need at least 5 major carriers to avoid such shocks. Yet policy and practice has led us to the market with 2 dominant players. When we will adopt policies that prevent monopolistic control and ensure robust competition? Ma'am, civil aviation is not just an industry. It is the connectivity that binds this nation. It affects businesses, tourism, family, national integration. It should not collapse under the weight of avoidable operational management or regulatory laxity. The private members bill by Safi Perimbilji seeks real customer protection with enforceable compensation, greater market competition, stronger independent oversight airlines and regulators, transparency and accountability on pricing and cancellation and refunds. This crisis is a wake-up call. Let this House unite to ensure that India's passengers are protected and that India's skies are resilient and there is no single failure, operational or regulatory, can cripple our nation's connectivity. I urge members to support this bill, not just in spirit but in action, ma'am. Thank you.